Alright, before we get onto the subject of today's video, I wanted to talk about something else. Just sitting over here. The Dell Dimension 5150. This is my live stream broadcast computer, and I'm probably going to touch on my live stream here at some point in the future of this video, but for now, let's just talk about the computer itself and some of the changes that have been made to it. I'm not sure where I put it. Actually, I can see it just poking out over there. I replaced the RAM. After that rude interruption. I replaced the RAM. Or, actually, I didn't directly replace the RAM. I actually took out a gigabyte of memory because it had 5 gigs in it. And let's face it, there's no excuse or reason for it to have 5 gigabytes of RAM in it when it's running Windows P over here. It will never be able to take advantage of 5 gigs. So, I still have 4 in there. It won't even be able to take advantage of the 4, but at least the 4 are there if I decide to run a 64-bit operating system on it. As of late, unfortunately, it has been unstable. I also took out an Ethernet card. I don't know if it's going to be stable yet or not. But if it's not, this computer over here is going to take its place. But I am opposed to doing as much work as I possibly can. So, if I don't have to replace the computer, I'm not going to. But we're going to go ahead and work on this. I'm going to erase the admin password. I can't find my original admin password eraser disk. I'm assuming, with pretty good base, that somebody has stolen it, because I haven't found it anywhere in here. And if I knew, if it was still in here, and that somebody didn't take it, I would have found it by now. We'll just put it that way. But either way, that's there. So we're going to go ahead over here. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to let that rewind itself. I'm going to let that start importing. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to erase the admin password, and I'm going to show that process on video, because some people have asked about it. Okay, so that is importing now. So we'll go over here, we'll switch our KVM to the correct input, and we'll fire this computer up. Sorry I didn't show that. It's firing itself up. CD in the optical drive. And hopefully in a few minutes we'll get a power on self-test. And it's not going to try and boot from the hard drive, even though I want the optical drive. There we go. Okay. So we'll just press the enter key because I don't really think that it's going to need additional options. I just need a PS2 keyboard. I can't imagine it can screw that up. But then again, it is Linux, so who knows? This is NTPA-SSWD, in case you're wondering what it actually is. Okay, possible Windows installations found. Just got the one, because there is only one Windows installation on here. So let's see. I want password reset. So we will edit user groups and passwords. We have got some here. I'm not sure which one the administrator is, so we're going to type 3F0. We will clear the password, and we'll see here. I'm pretty sure that 3F0 is the administrator account that I wanted to unlock in the first place. Yes, it is. So it looks like that's done. So we'll hit quit, and we'll quit. And let's see. Should be able to quit again. Oops, I want Q. Alright. Do you want to write the files back? Yes, please do. Edit complete. You can try again. You shouldn't need to. So we should be able to reboot the computer. And it should be okay. Well, alright, fine. If it doesn't want to shut down software-wise, we'll just shut it down hardware-wise. Pushing the power button works almost every time. Let's see if that screwed up our Windows installation, or if we can log in just fine after it's done posting. Oh, we got a problem here. Apparently my mouse doesn't work. So it's either got no driver loaded, or the mouse itself is broken. So we'll try this the old-fashioned way. And it looks like that is going to allow it to log in. Hopefully it will load a driver. Oh, look at this. It looks like the desktop is blank, so I won't have to worry about any of that. Online receipts. I definitely do not like that. Uh-oh. Norton Internet Security. And as usual, it thinks everything else is important, or is more important than loading my damn mouse driver. Although it's entirely possible that this mouse is broken. I'm probably going to have to go get another mouse. Let me go get another mouse. Okay, well, it responded to another mouse. Still not working with the original mouse, but this one is working, so clearly my mouse is broken. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Let's see how many things I'm going to have to disable. So I'm in the administrator account now. How much data is on here? I'm going to go explore this and see how much data is left over, and then I'll come back and see where we go from there. Data saving is in progress. Yes, I am saving the original owner's data. I'm doing that for future perusal, mainly so I can see when the system was last used. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff on there. I found a resume, I found some receipts for stuff that was online, including a Presto bus pass. Those of you who live in this particular city will know what I'm talking about. Or those of you who live in Toronto will also know what I'm talking about, because it's the same thing there. But either way, I'm disappointed again, because users have still not figured out how to delete their data when they donated a computer to the thrift store. I realized that I forgot to share off the ports on the back in the last video, I believe. I can't really remember if I did or did not, so we're going to do that right now. Starting with the power supply, which does have its own light. Power supply is probably going to explode while I'm trying to do this. PS2 keyboard and mouse. It actually does have an S-video input and a that's an S-video output and a digital audio output. Parallel port. No serial for whatever reason. I don't think many computers have got serial ports on them anymore. VGA. Is that 4? Yeah, I think there's 4. No, 4 USB ports and a FireWire, Ethernet, and of course the surround sound that everybody needs to have. 4 expansion slots, one of which is occupied by a modem that I'm going to take out here in a minute. And there you go. And obviously it's got, how many? I think it's got 3 more USB ports in the front. Yes, 3. There's one in the card reader, and then there's 2 more over there. If I had a spare floppy drive, I would definitely put a spare floppy drive in here, but unfortunately I don't, unless I could take the one out of what is supposed to become the NAS over there, because it probably won't need a floppy drive for what's going to become of it. But I might just leave it in there. I don't know yet. We'll see. Right now I'm just trying to save the previous owner's data out of here so I can clear it. Anybody is wondering how much data I have saved from the computer, it is about come on camera, it's about 2.29 gigabytes worth of data. And I'm not even done yet, because I haven't, apparently it seems to be read-only, I'm not sure why that is. But I won't change it. I need to go through the temporary folder as well and get stuff out of there, if there is any of it. And then we'll install programs and try and clean this thing up. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to uninstall programs that I just frankly don't need. And there are a lot of them on here. I think I'm going to leave all of the HP stuff alone, just because it's an HP computer and I might as well just leave it there, but maybe I'll uninstall it to clean up the computer a little bit. Who knows? something that I just noticed. Apparently, the Google Chrome toolbar for Internet Explorer is larger than the actual Google Chrome browser. I can't believe it. Of course, both are going to disappear, so it doesn't really matter. Fortunately, I don't have to die to find out if I do or don't need Norton antivirus. But look at this. Oh, how annoying this software suite is. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to have to uninstall here. And the last thing that we need to do before rebooting the computer is to delete that user account, which has been done. I just noticed something here. I'm not quite sure what that picture is all about, but whatever. And I keep trying to go use this mouse, and the mouse I want is this one. Let's reboot it. See if something trashed the system or not. HP and that. This is a different BIOS splash than I'm used to seeing on these as well. I'm wondering if maybe it's because it's an ECS motherboard or if it's just the version of the BIOS that it's running. Probably just the version, because these are all just flash BIOSes, so. Okay. Slow Windows XP boot. A lot of people ask me, well, why do you show all these little details? It's because I like to have commentary while I'm showing off all these little details, but I've been editing them out in recent videos because people just complain about it. So, and of late, guess what? People have been complaining because I haven't been showing all the details. So, there you go, I suppose. Alright, time for a malware scan. How many viruses do you want to bet are on this computer? Go ahead and just start a scan here. Let's find out. Okay, it's not as bad as I was expecting. Only 282 threats, and it seems to all just be a bunch of potentially unwanted programs. And there I go, trying to use the mouse for the stream encoding computer again. So we'll just go ahead and remove the selected items and see where we go from there. I'm also going to have to do a future scan for rootkits, because if there are rootkits on this, I am not going to be keeping this Windows installation because I do not like dealing with the cleanup of rootkits. Okay, log file has been saved. The computer needs to be rebooted. Yes, do reboot the computer in order to remove those threats. And we'll come back and see what happens. I'm going to do a scan for rootkits, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, so what I've done now is I've actually created a brand new fresh user account. Oops. I should probably move this mouse out of the way, because it is definitely in the way. But after removing all the junk, what the hell? Is that Microsoft Live? Customize. No, it doesn't actually have one. I could set it to being Outhouse Express, but I don't know why anybody would ever use that. It's now nice and slim up here. There's still some junk up there that I should probably remove, but looks acceptable to me. The system is, for whatever reason, still running Service Pack 2. I didn't notice this until now. So it is going to need to get Service Pack 3. Are we going to get Focus tonight or what? It's going to need to get Service Pack 3. I'm also going to change the system registration, although I shouldn't have to. It's blank. So, let's see. I changed the computer name. I think that's really all that I've done. Is there any devices in here I can remove? No, I don't think so. ARPC devices. I wonder what that is. Interesting. Well, anyways, I think the next step is to install Service Pack 3, install all the updates. I am going to connect it to my network here in just a moment and install all the updates. Or maybe I won't because I don't care enough, but my plan is eventually maybe to try this out as a stream encoding computer. See if it's any more reliable than that Dell that's sitting over there. Maybe not. But either way, this ought to become something, so... because I can't let a computer go to waste. It is producing a wee bit of heat. Not a whole lot, though. Especially for being a Pentium 4 Prescott. I'd expect a lot more out of something like that, but... oh well, I'm not going to complain. Even though this video is about this HP computer, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the computer and we're going to talk about low-end radio stuff. I'll have a brief studio tour, and I'll talk about a couple other things with regards to the show. There's been a couple of changes here, you can probably tell. There's an RCA CD changer, Yamaha, a Sony. There's a Pioneer, that's supposed to be a CD changer, but it's actually configured as a single disc player with the single disc cartridge. A Vector Research VCX 400 cassette deck that I like so much. Unfortunately, it seems to have a couple of issues. Still the same Technics cassette deck that you saw before. Same music player. There's a bunch of clocks here. I added this recently. Nice little lava lamp. There's two mixers. I don't think you saw this in the last one, but there's two mixers now. There's a Behringer ZenX 1000 2FX as well as an 802, the same 802 I used to have. And the microphone's changed. It's now a Shure VS100 that is hooked up via the 1/4 inch right there. Everything else is pretty much the same, although I did make one other change. The bomb pack that used to be hooked up over there, it wasn't replaced by that computer, but it was removed entirely. You see, the Stereo Dust Particles 8000 audio-only service was retired recently, and I decided that with its retirement, there's no reason for me to continue to have it there, because all it was doing was dragging down the reliability of the studio, so I just got rid of it and moved that there so I could then have another stack of clocks sitting over here. Funny how that works out. So I made one other change, because I've actually freed up an audio cable. I only have one audio cable going over there, and I then have two spares. So I also went ahead and I changed my monitor speakers over to these Realistics, which appear to actually have a sleep mode on them, which is fairly cool. I'll go ahead and turn this up. Let's see what happens. Nope, never mind. So either they're broken or something else. But either way, they've got a sleep mode on them, which is pretty nice. Takes double the number of C-cell batteries, but whatever. I actually replaced, where are those damn things? Those over there. Those are Creative Sound Blaster SBS 38s. Let's go ahead and have a test here. Hit play and turn that up. You won't be able to hear that it's in stereo, but at least you can get some kind of an idea for how loud they are. Whoops. Camera was unplugged there, but... they're not even turned up very high. Of course, I can't do that for too long because I'll either get my video muted or I'll wake somebody up. Because what time is it? It's about 3:30 in the morning right now, so... I'm not on the interstate at night, though. I expect only a handful of people will get that reference, but there you go, replace those speakers. And I believe that's pretty much all I've done in the low-end radio studios of late. The other thing I did do was I added a second CD rack, which was definitely much needed. There's the second camera. That Panasonic Palmcorder, that's the old one, the really old unit. And that's a secondary personal camera, that's what I call it. But other than that, there's been no changes. So, those of you who are wondering about it, that's what's going on. A lot of people have also asked what it is. It is a live streaming broadcast on the iVlog.tv website that I do basically whenever I feel like it. But there is a guaranteed time that you can see me. If you want to actually watch the show, you're guaranteed to see it live if you go at 10 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday. That's Eastern Time. So 10 p.m. Eastern Time on a Tuesday. you're almost guaranteed to see something. Every once in a while I'll have to cancel for a reason or another, but you're practically guaranteed to find me live then. As for what I do, it's basically spinning tunes like what you heard there. You know, something like this, you're almost practically guaranteed to hear. Music like that, and other music too. I have a rather large taste of music. I might go over and take a look at my CD rack in a moment so you can see some kind of an example of the large taste in music I've got. But we can go over here and take a look here at some of the cassette tapes. Turn on the video light, just so you can get an idea of what kind of a taste in music I've got. Rather wide-ranging. This, by the way, that blue one was a Dire Straits cassette tape. It's actually Brothers in Arms. I have it on CD and cassette tape. I'll basically play just about anything. Just as long as it doesn't suck. Which is actually what the slogan of the show is, specializing in music that doesn't suck. Of course, that could mean something different to anybody, so really, I could tell you that, oh, you should watch the show and oh, you'll like it, but I'd be wrong. The only way to find out if you actually will like it or not is to watch the show itself. So, yeah. Although, if you don't happen to like the show, do request music, and I'll see if I've got it. If I don't have it, I won't play it, but request, or the best thing that you can possibly do if you just cannot stand the music or me is to just leave, because I've got absolutely no patience for people who their sole purpose is to come in, stay there for 5 seconds, and tell me that the show is terrible. In no uncertain terms, tell me. I mean, if you think that it's terrible and you want to say something, I am not going to ban you for telling me that the show is terrible. But if you're going to use profanity, if you're going to be rude about it, I'm going to ban you, and you will not be allowed back. So just don't go there. There's been a lot of people who've been banned in the past because their only reason for being there is to tell me that they think that my show effing sucks. And you know what? I got it the first time. You don't need to come back again. That's it. I got the hint the first time that you don't happen to like it, but I'm not going to change what I like to do just because one person happens to not like it. But there we go. Anyways, got off on a little bit of a tangent there, and I've got 3 minutes left on this videotape, so I want to make this quick. A couple other things I'd like to point out. I recently replaced the flip clock with that up there, and that's a 7-4655A clock radio. I also changed out the phone clock with another one that I think matches the styling a little bit better. The clocks that are sitting over here. There is another clock. Not sure if I'll have enough space to get the camera over, but maybe you could just barely make it out there. Yes, you can. The 7-4612B is over there. I haven't plugged it in yet. I need to get more outlet space. And I'm sure that the YouTube Fire Brigade is going to be upset at my mentioning that I need to have more outlet space, but frankly, they're clock radios. They're a couple of watts each. There's no reason why I can't run several of them on that outlet. In fact, it probably adds up, total number of clock radios I've got probably adds up to less than 100 watts. Even plugged in right now at this instant. So, there you go. But I think I'm going to wrap up this video because a lot of people have complained about the length of my videos in recent past. And although I have to say that the reason why the videos are long for the most part is because there's a lot of content for me to cover in a video, I do agree that some of them are just unnecessarily long. So this is the current state of the computer. I thought I would give you a brief overview of it. There will be another future video about it where I think I'm going to install Service Pack 3 and a couple of programs and maybe give it a demonstration, but I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that. It's probably just going to run Service Pack 3, maybe even without the POS Ready update feature turned on, but I'm not opposed to doing that. In fact, I might just do it anyways. I'm not going to install unofficial Service Pack 4 because I've got a couple of systems with USP4 on it already, and I don't think all of them need it. The POS Ready updates are more than enough. So there you go. Thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. I will never not use the wrong mouse in this video. Till then, folks. Hopefully I've got enough time to do this. Piece of crap computer shut down. No, whatever.